The tick. I got another ponderous thought for you, Jake. You ready? The guy with the worst grades should get to give a graduation speech too. Let me hear both sides. You like that one, don't you?
I do like that one.
I like that one. You got to hear all sides of everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show. Here on 93.7, the ticket, the show that gives unique insight, unbridled honesty. Producer Jake and I, in the meantime, we'll have a whole lot of fun in the process. You got to hear Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. The topic of today. Matt Rhule's made a lot of moves already this offseason. Big moves, fast moves. We're still waiting on a D-line coach. Has anything broken the past 10 seconds? I'm literally like, has anything happened? Has anything happened? Has anything broken since we went on air, Jake?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe
I'll double
so?
check.
All right, keep me updated. Elijah Robinson is the expected hire. There's some details. See, I'm speaking Italian today. All right. Fragile. It must be Italian. I'm speaking Italian today. I spoke Spanish the other day. We're trilingual here on this show. Is that even a word, trilingual?
I don't know. It might be Italian.
Do you have a leg lamp that you put up in your house at Christmas time? And does it also make your wife upset? Just like the movie. No response?
I don't have a leg lamp. I've seen them around town, though.
Have you? You put it in the middle of your living room window for the world to see?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you're understanding some of the words that are coming out of our mouth. If not, I do apologize. We're having a whole lot of fun talking sports, as you know. A lot to talk about. Nebraska volleyball. Phenomenal season. All-time great season. 33-0, obviously, will not be going to the Final Four, so there's a little bit of heartbreak involved there. I can't help but feel for the ladies, for DBK in her first season. What a season it was. When you come in and you've got a talent roster like Nebraska has, you could have the attitude of, oh, anybody could do that. No, there's a lot that comes with talented individuals. And these ladies, I mean, if you follow them on social media, they're fun. They're having fun. Like, they work hard. They've obviously had a lot of success. But that can go a lot of different directions. When you've got high expectations, that can breed into high levels of pressure. How do you respond? How do you handle winning? How do you handle adversity? One of my favorite parts of the season was the match on Saturday was highly, 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 highly entertaining on Sunday versus Texas A&M. The bad guys won. The bad gals won. They're the bad gals because they won. Had we won, they would have just been the other gals. But they're the bad gals because they won. It was that Kentucky match early on in the season when they were down 0-2 and they had to reverse sweep, and they almost did it again on Sunday. I've been of the mindset a lot of my life, sometimes it's better to lose somewhere along the way than it is to go undefeated, because the amount of pressure just keeps building. Also, they kept working hard all year, but sometimes it's just that little reminder. Hey, you got to keep working. You got to keep working. Now, again, the ladies had a great season. Proud of them. Obviously, there's going to be some disappointment. When you're a preseason number one, you go undefeated. The goal is the national championship, making the Final Four. That's obviously not going to happen. I will say this. I thought it was going to be Nebraska, Kentucky for a rematch in the national championship. When I saw the Sweet 16, the matchup everyone kind of looked at was potentially Nebraska versus Louisville on Sunday. Danny Busboom's old team. Danny Busboom Kelly's old team. Obvious storylines there. I will say, when I saw A&M beat Louisville, I was like, that is the one team before we play anybody at the Final Four that would have made me nervous. Not that Louisville couldn't have beaten us, or anybody can beat anybody on any given day. That was the one team I was like, that's the biggest threat before the Final Four. And when they beat Louisville, I was like, here we go. And I watched them play Louisville. Not the whole thing, but enough. And I was like, yeah, they're definitely better than Louisville. Louisville actually kept it closer than I thought the score indicated, because they're a good team too. Great season for Nebraska volleyball. I do feel for the girls. I have no doubt they're going to bounce back even better next year. Rebecca Alec, what a career she's done as a senior. You got a lot of those girls that are going to be coming back. Obviously, DBK coming back. It's going to be exciting to see what they can do next year. I would have to imagine the mantra is going to be something along the lines. I don't know if you want to have this, but whether consciously, outwardly, or inwardly, or subconsciously, national championship or bust. They're going to have that type of roster, that type of team again. So congratulations to them on a great season. Nebraska basketball. All right, seriously, has the AP poll come out yet? I know it has for the women's. We've moved up to number 24 in the country, up one spot. Nebraska women's basketball has won their last 4 games by an average margin of victory of 37.5, if we're going to round here, 38 points a game. Those 4 games, they've won by a combined 150 points. Not name brand teams. Okay, don't let facts get in the way of a good story. It is factually correct, though. But they look really good. It's crazy because I feel like they've almost been overshadowed by the men, who are having a phenomenal season so far. Nebraska volleyball. Husker wrestling, by the way, number 6 in the country. The last time they took on anybody was Missouri a week or 2 ago. Number 12 in the country, and they kind of curb stopped them just a little bit. So I think Husker wrestling maybe had a little bit rough start to the season, and people are like, we'll tune back in later. Well, it's later. Tune back in. Husker wrestling is still going to be a contender at the end of this year. I still maintain it's between them and Penn State for the national championship. My humble opinion. It's going to come down to them and Penn State. 2 Big Ten teams. Has the AP poll come out yet for the men or not yet, Jake?
It has, actually.
All right. That had to have been since the show started, because I've been on top of that. I did grab some pizza. Maybe it was while I was grabbing pizza as I walked in here.
Nebraska basketball now up to number 15, a top 15 team in the country at 11-0.
Nice.
Illinois, by the way, fell to 18.
I mean, you go on the road. You beat number 13 Illinois in their house. Great game. 3-pointer, basically, essentially at the buzzer, 83-80 to win the game. This was a game where we had way more fouls called on us than they had called on them, found a way to win on the road. It was the game, to me, I think we were like 9.5-point underdogs last time I looked going in. It was just under double digits. Now, the couple hours leading into the game, I was not constantly on top of the plus, minus as far as what we were favored, where it was going up or down. But this is the game that spoke to me like this team is legit and can do some things this year. I mean, we had an exhibition game versus BYU. I know it was exhibition or whatever, but we beat BYU in the exhibition game. Where are they ranked? Are they top 10 still?
Let's see. They took a loss. Let me see where they're at now. They're number 10, yeah.
Yeah, so they're still top 10. So technically, semantics aside, we've beaten 2 top 15 teams, 2 top 13 teams. Semantics, exhibition. There was still a score involved. What do we got here? All right, you're letting me know how many clips we've got? Ooh. All right. We got one from Phil Snow on Friday's very interesting press conference. That was a very interesting press conference. Guys didn't know the calls. Guys didn't know what they were doing. Basically said there were some people who did not know what was going on, player-wise. Maybe some young guys were a little bit disengaged. All right. We got Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner. 7 of the last 10 Heisman Trophy winners have been from the transfer portal, Jake. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's tell the times, right? I think there's a lot of reason to go out there and get a veteran quarterback in the portal if you have an opening.
Paul Feinbaum went ham when Indiana hired Kurt Signetti. Yeah, we went back a few years to get this one. I like Paul ever since he apologized and admitted he's maybe not up to speed on the Big Ten as he is the SEC. I think this was when Rhule pointed out, hey, we got 4 Big Ten teams. And remember when you eviscerated me 2 summers ago for saying 4 Big Ten teams should get in? Again, I'm going back to like last January. Yeah, we went back a ways. We keep receipts around here. And there was an OU player who donated a lot of his NIL to walk-ons. So we're going to get to all these clips either today or tomorrow. The main topic of today's show, what is Matt Rhule's next big move? Okay, aside from officially announcing a D-line coach, that's the obvious one. I mean, he's made some moves. Fired Donovan Ryola, hired G. Wade, fired John Butler, hired John Orridge, let go of Terry Brayton. We know a D-line coach is coming, I assume. Maybe not. He doesn't have to. I guess it's not mandatory. Does he have to hire a D-line coach? Maybe Matt Rhule should put his hat on backwards and coach the D-line next year. What do you think?
That could be.
I mean, Eckler's doing the ends. Matt Rhule's doing the D tackles. A lot of energy. Ooh, a lot of energy. It reminds me back to when I first got to Nebraska and we had rush ends. We were called rush ends. Not rush ends, rush ends. Got to enunciate.
Russians.
And, what'd you say?
I like that. Russians, yeah. They call us Russians.
Somebody out there is so lost right now. I apologize. I'm trying to enunciate. I hope it's coming through. If it's not, I apologize. But Nelson Bards coached us rush ends. All right, 2 separate words. And then Jeff Jamrock had the D tackles. So we had two D-line coaches at one point. And when I first got here, Milt Tenneper and Eric Young had the O-line. Maybe we got Teasley. We got Wade. I don't know. Maybe are they going to work together to coach the O-line? I want to watch Eckler coach the ends. I just do. The energy. I just want to see it. And are we doing the 4-man line for the bowl game? Because wouldn't it be Matt Rhule coaches D tackle? Otherwise, if we're doing the 3-3-5 still, we must be having a 4-man line. Did we just give away a game plan? Did we just give away the game plan? Well, what's Matt Rhule's next big move? I want to know on the text line. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
It's been at least a full week since we put that number out there. I wonder if people forgot.
They did.
It's a good thing you reminded them.
That's right.
What do you believe Matt Rhule's next big move should be? Let us know on the text line. There's a lot of information to go through here quickly. First, I want to give a shout out, Culligan. As a former Husker and NFL player, as you know, I'm a bit of a health nut. Hydration and recovery start at home. That's why you should team up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects your water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage for drinking. Make sure you add a Culligan reverse osmosis. It's like bottled quality water right at your tap. Great taste, and it's certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, through the end of December, it's the $500 Dead or Alive promo. If you have a water system and buy a new Culligan system to replace it, you'll get $500 off the new softener. Jake, that's $500 off a new softener. That's all through December 31st. Culligan of Lincoln, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you love Go Big Red? Limited time offer, by the way. Participating dealers, restrictions may apply. All right. Talked about basketball. Oh, is this true? I heard if you spike the ball on every play, your QB, your passer rating would, or QBR would be 39.6. Shooter Sanders' rating was 30.3. Like his rating was 30.3. I don't understand how that works with the.
We've got breaking news. Nick's running to get it to you. Pete Thamel reporting that Dylan Ryola has intends to enter the NCAA transfer portal.
Ooh. All right. That is breaking news. So that is confirmed.
At least from Pete Thamel, yeah. Yep.
All right. What's your reaction to that?
Very interesting, especially that since you just asked me about transfer portal quarterbacks and what they've done in the Heisman. I think if Dylan, if they do move off of Dylan, I've been saying this. I don't know if you go into year 4 with TJ Lateef, kind of a guy that you're trying to prove, is the worth, his worth as a sophomore quarterback. But they might decide otherwise. But I think that how pressure packed this year will be, and what they need to do, the schedule, all that. This is not a kind of learn as you go type of thing. I would expect the next big move now for Nebraska is to target a quarterback out of the portal. Of course, we've seen guys intend to or think about or even go into the portal, come back out. Maybe it's re-recruit Dylan. But I think now obviously the big question is, what do you do at quarterback?
Well, that killed the suspense. It's supposed to be suspenseful. What does Matt Rhule do next? In all seriousness, so. Because it's breaking. So what is the exact wording on that? So I can get the exact wording right.
All right. Pete Thamel reports Nebraska quarterback Dylan Ryola intends to enter the NCAA transfer portal. He's a true sophomore who has 2 years of eligibility remaining. He threw for 18 touchdowns, 2,000 yards, and completed 72.4% of his passes this year. Ryola is seeking a place where he thrive and best harness his potential and develop for next steps of his career.
Can you screenshot that and text it to me?
Yeah.
That last part is interesting. When most people enter the portal, do they usually put why they're entering the portal in there? I don't recall most players saying why they're entering the portal.
Yeah. I don't see that. By the way, 15 minutes ago, this could maybe impact Nebraska eventually. Cincinnati quarterback Brennan Sorsby informed the school that he intends to enter the NCAA transfer portal.
So I had Sorsby ready to talk about here. So Sorsby's entering the portal. People do expect, I believe, DJ Lagway, the Florida quarterback, to enter the portal.
Yeah.
As you can, I've got this. I had a whole bunch of things ready. Former Gophers receiver Malachi Coleman has been removed from the online roster. This is via Ryan Burns on X. And a source confirms he intends to enter the transfer portal. The Nebraska transfer had 5 catches for Minnesota this past fall. So Dylan's going to enter the portal. Malachi Coleman's going to enter the portal. Brendan Sorsby, who we saw firsthand game 1 of the year, the Cincinnati quarterback, is entering the portal. DJ Lagway is expected to enter the portal. All right, Matt Rhule's next big move. The drama there kind of got killed. I will say, beyond hiring a defensive line coach, I was actually going to go to portal players. So the 5, here's another thing, not necessarily portal related, but recruiting related. The 5 Nebraska high school players who went to Iowa State have now all opened their recruitment after Matt Campbell left. Were you aware of that one there, Jake?
I seen a few of them. I didn't know it was all 5 of them.
So to me, one of the first things we need to do, beyond assessing TJ Lateef is expected to play in the bowl game. I'm curious to see what he is or isn't able to do, because even though he's expected to play, practicing, whatnot, that hamstring stuff tends to linger. What all can he exactly do and not do in the bowl game? I'll be curious to see. Obviously, got a couple of weeks, got some time, to see how that unfolds. But now you start looking around. You start looking around if you're Matt Rhule. I mean, there was a rumor that Sorsby was looking for $4 million a few weeks ago. And again, that was a rumor. I don't know if that was ever confirmed. Did you ever see a follow-up on that or confirmation on that?
I can look it up real quick, see if there's anything.
Look that up. DJ Lagway, he's a guy that underperformed a little bit at Florida this past year. He came out same recruiting class as Dylan. I think he was rated slightly ahead of Dylan on signing day. I could be wrong on that. Like I know Julian's saying, I believe he was the number 1 quarterback in that same recruiting class, the Ohio State quarterback. There's going to be a lot of guys that enter the portal. There's going to be a lot of guys that Nebraska can go after. There's going to be plenty of options. I've stated, hey, if Dylan stays, great. If Dylan doesn't stay, that's fine. You got to do what's best for the program, for the university, for this state, and that's all encompassing. All right, it's not necessarily about a particular player or whatever the case may be. You got to do what's best. There's going to be plenty of options. I tend to wonder what type of a quarterback we may or may not be going after. You look at TJ, you look at Trey. Now, Trey can certainly pass, Trey Taylor, but he can make plays with his legs as well. I wonder if we're going a little bit more towards the dual threat type quarterback route, or at least leaning more that way. And I wonder if that affects who we might go after in the portal. What are your thoughts there, Jake?
Well, I always prefer a dual threat quarterback. I think it gives you kind of options on what you can do. Obviously, you don't have to have the best offensive line. You can kind of get around some of those things. But for Nebraska, a lot of the time, it was kind of finding a run first guy that we can mold into a quarterback. And though, that can be a frustrating process. So, I'd take a little bit off the top speed or agility for a guy that has a better arm. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's all different routes to go here. But I do think, given the offensive line struggles this past year, maybe that's something they go along with. Now, at the same time, Holgorsen can, has a history. You have to kind of think about the whole offense here. Do you want to stick to this offense that you kind of probably, if we're honest, built around Dylan and Dylan's skill set? Or do you want to kind of completely shift? Now, again, that offense, maybe you go back to a more of a traditional Holgorsen offense, not necessarily the air raid, as he's mentioned before. He kind of moved away from that years ago, but it's kind of trying to go back to the drawing board. It's easy to, kind of just say, okay, Dylan was this or he wasn't that. And so, I don't think this is as big of a deal maybe as it would have been even if he left last year. And I do think that even if he does transfer and he's played all his games at Nebraska, let's acknowledge he came here, got Nebraska to 2 bowl games, something that hadn't been done since 2016. I think we could view all this a little bit as steps in the right direction. Maybe not a complete success, the hopes, national championships, Heisman's, all that. But I think that this is an opportunity. I mean, you also lose Emmett Johnson. This is an opportunity to kind of go back to the drawing board of what you want to do offensively altogether. And so, I mean, I kind of think with you, if you can get a more mobile guy, I think that's a pretty good place to start.
All right. You make a lot of great points. Here's my official reaction, because you're right. A year ago, I remember it was like, oh, Dylan might go. And it was like January, February. And Rhule said there was a legit chance he could have gone. He could have taken offers and gone. And I remember when the rumors were going around, they were more than just rumors. There was validity to them. I will never forget, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, why does the guy have to clear up that he's staying? It's so silly. Why should that even happen? Why do you have to even announce that you're staying? Because that is the world we live in. It is the world we live in. It is not the way I would like the world to be. There's a few things I'd like to be different in the world in general. But when it comes to the college football world, it's the world we live in. A year ago, people would have been like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I think now people are like, wish him the best, did some good things for 2 years, don't know that we got the 5-star return. Maybe he's a year away from that. Maybe he goes somewhere else. Maybe he lights the world on fire. He certainly has that physical potential. But let's look around and let's see what else is out there. And I don't think it's going to be, I don't want to say firestorm reaction that we would have gotten in January, February of last year. But it's a big deal. But I think people are kind of like, okay, best of luck, Dylan. Thanks for everything. Same with Donovan. I don't know what's going to happen with Dayton now. He hasn't committed anywhere. Doesn't have any new offers that I'm aware of. Wish the family the best. But it is time to look around and see what's out there. There's going to be more guys that enter the portal. What type of quarterback are we looking for? What do we need? What's Holgerson's offense going to look like? Can Holgerson go back to doing a little bit more of what we expected him to do? Because I wonder how much of what he did was based on Dylan. Maybe what Dylan wanted to do. Maybe what Dylan physically, his strengths were going to lead him to be able to do. Now, he never had straight up like read option type quarterbacks at West Virginia. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, he did a couple. I mean, he wasn't there with Pat White, was he? My timeline way off on that. Geno Smith, like who were his quarterbacks at West Virginia? Remind me of that real quick. And I know
I can pull it up here.
He was at Oklahoma State. He was a lot of other places. That's just the place that sticks out to me for whatever reason when it comes to Dana Holgerson. Because I think those were the most mobile quarterbacks he had, but he had plenty of other places where he coached. Like Brandon Wheaton isn't exactly a guy that I would think of as a read option quarterback at Oklahoma State, first-round draft pick. All right, played in the NFL for a while. So for me, it doesn't have to be a mobile guy, but I think back to Phil Snow's press conference on Friday. Wow, that was an interesting press conference. That dude's excited to be the D coordinator for the bowl game, which got me excited. But he talked about if the quarterback can't run from a defensive perspective, you can play 11 on 10. But that quarterback, if he can run, now you got to play 11 on 11 as one-on-one across the board. And I thought that was interesting. Now, he was talking about Utah and Utah's quarterbacks and how mobile they are and how well they can run the ball. But I was like, man, I feel like that's a conversation that's been had inside that facility with not just the defensive coaches. But it was Friday. He was talking about something completely different. So I didn't want to connect dots that weren't there. But I can't help but wonder, looking back now, if they had those conversations inside that facility and they got to go get somebody out of the portal now. It's not that you don't trust TJ Lateef. It's that we need a quarterback battle this offseason. Whether it was Dylan and TJ, whether it was Dylan and somebody else, if TJ left, if TJ stays, Dylan's leaving, then it's somebody else with TJ. You got to bring somebody in, have a quarterback battle. And I wonder how much the mobility of a quarterback's legs is going to play a factor in this. I don't want to go over the top because sometimes people have one thing. They wish they had something else and they go over the top. Like when we hired Bo Pelini, people love Bo Pelini, but very fiery, could be combative at times. And so we went the complete opposite direction with Mike Riley, the exact opposite. I'm not taking shots at anybody here, but I always felt like that was an overcompensation hire. Like we had this, we want this, we're going to go way over in this direction. Like I don't want to go too far one way or the other. I want it to be down the middle, which is typically where the best possible quarterback candidate. The best guy to bring in for a potential quarterback battle, usually is somewhere in the middle, not on extremes of one end or the other. So what are some of the guys he had at West Virginia?
He started with like the Geno Smiths of the world.
That's what I thought. Okay.
He did have a Skylar Howard that for a few years that ran for 500 yards one year. So, he kind of had a guy. And then when you go to even Houston, I wouldn't say, Clayton Tune's mobile enough, but
Case Keenum?
Yeah, well, I don't think he was there for Case Keenum.
Okay.
He's had a mobile guy here and there, but it's mostly pocket quarterback.
So here's what I think Holgerson, here's what I always envision. That's why I asked, who were the exact guys that he's coached at different spots? I envision his quarterback being able to move, take off, run, but the option maybe not necessarily being a heavy part of the offense. Like even with TJ, a quarterback, they'd run some read option in RPO, But did you ever notice it wasn't a ton? Like, that might be part of the repertoire depending on who is our starting quarterback next year. But I don't know that it's an insane focal point, but I can't help but think about what Phil Snow said. 11 on 11 across the board if the quarterback can threaten you with his legs. And again, he was talking about Utah's offense. By the way, a Utah team that averages over 200 yards rushing a game, not to look too far ahead to certain things. So I'm curious how that affects who we look at going forward. Matt Rhule's next big move is obviously now going to be beyond announcing a defensive line coach at some point. Who are they looking at in the portal in general? Offensive line, defensive line. What are the positions? Oh, by the way, quarterback. Final thoughts on Dillon officially entering the portal. I will give my final thoughts on that. I'm just going to give them real quick. Like, I do think a year ago this is a big deal. I think it would have been an enormous deal. I don't want to say it would have hit the panic button, but people would have been like, oh my gosh, what's going on? We're building around Dillon. I think to this point, people are kind of like, all right, we kind of built around Dillon for 2 years. We know what that looks like. Yes, he can potentially get better. He's got through the roof talent, potential, ability. But is that truly what's best for the team as a whole? Had he stayed, great. Let's have a quarterback competition with him and Latif. If he doesn't stay, who do we bring in? Let's have a quarterback competition. And I don't think there's going to be the gigantic, oh my gosh, what's going on moment that there would have been a year ago. Is that fair to say?
I think it's fair to say. I do
feel
think
like there's more in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, this is interesting. Obviously, we're going to dive more into it as the show goes on. But Holgorsen said he was basically came for Dillon, right? It's been pointed out on the text line. There's some wide receivers that might be kind of thinking about some different things here. I mean, Nebraska to a degree, and I don't want to put it. Again, I don't think this is a complete failure. The whole Raiola era, I think it worked to kind of get you that next step. But they sold out a lot on this. Jet Tamala pointed out on the text line. Maybe you would have gone after him if the Ryolas weren't here. I mean, I still think they hired their offensive line coach, Donovan Ryola, to get Dillon. So, I mean, I think this reaches farther back than just one staff. And while I do say I think he's made steps, he might not be the quarterback you think he might be. Little bit unfortunate that you don't get to see him. A lot of bit unfortunate, given what you've put into him and the family, to not see him as an upperclassman. Remember, he was on pace. Might have been incredible, but usually your best as a junior or senior. He was on pace to beat Nebraska's single season records before he got hurt. Many of them for passing.
That's a fair point, and I get all of that. I think for me, yeah, I do think a large part of why Donovan Ryola was brought here was to help recruit Dillon. I mean, we could be wrong. Maybe we thought Dayton was better than Jet, and that's why we offered Dayton Raiola over Jet Tamala. My gut pretty strongly tells me it was more closely related to the ties of the Ryolas. And then Dayton decommits, and Donovan's let go, and now Dillon's entering the transfer portal. So I do think there's a logical connection to the family being tied together. I don't think that's a far stretch. I've heard people kind of laugh at that. I'm like, why? Why do you laugh at that? It may not be factually correct. Maybe it's not correct. I've said they may not be like Connect Four where they all work together and they all go, or they just might be. We don't know. But I've heard people kind of chuckle at that. Why? I think it's a beyond fair thought to have and a beyond fair question to ask. And so that was always interesting to me. To not see the payoff, I get it. I think people are to the point where the payoff you would like to think would be an upward trajectory from where we are. It probably would be. But is the payoff with or without Dillon going to be that much different? Because are there other aspects of the football program that can now maybe not be tied to other certain folks in the football program? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Speaking vaguely, yet not that difficultly to understand, which may overall as a whole be better for the football program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Happy holidays, Nebraska! The Christmas event of the year is coming to the Lead Center. A Christmas Story, the musical, with all your favorite funny gags. The Fragile leg lamp, the Red Ryder BB gun, the ridiculous pink bunny suit, and more. All the fun of the movie, now with singing and dancing as seen on Broadway, with music by Pasek and Paul, the writers of The Greatest Showman. We triple dog dare you to get your tickets today. Leadcenter.org.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
At RHULE'S Jewelry, we know there are moments in life when you realize this is what it's all about. And you wish you could hold on to that feeling forever. This is why we've made jewelry our passion for 65 years. This holiday season, find the perfect gift with savings up to 50%. RHULE'S Jewelry, family owned since 1959.
Located in Lincoln at the Gateway Mall.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got breaking news in the first segment. Dylan Raiola plans to enter the transfer portal via Pete Thamel of On3 Sports. Just confirming. That is officially confirmed.
It is real. It's a real thing.
But the portal doesn't open until January 2nd, so anything could change.
Correct.
Wait 10
That's
seconds.
correct.
We could get 15 different pieces of breaking news between now and then. But, all right. Ryola entering the portal. A couple of thoughts here. My first question for you is, did you think the odds were high when he came here of him staying here for 4 years? When you look at his track record. I mean, serious question.
Yeah.
When you look at his track record.
I would probably say no, but, held out the hope.
Went to 4 different high schools, played for 3 different high schools, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, committed to Georgia, decommitted, committed to Ohio State, decommitted, then committed to Nebraska. And then there was heavy talk, real speculation, valid speculation, because even RHULE'S said he could have gone somewhere else last offseason. He almost entered the portal then, or at least there was a strong possibility. Now the announcement has been made that he plans on entering the portal. I still find this interesting. And you did say... Let me see your text. I got to find your text. All right. You did say that they did this with DJ Lagway as well. Because Pete Thamel, breaking news, Dylan Raiola plans to enter the transfer portal. Raiola is seeking a place where he can thrive and best harness his potential and develop for the next steps of his career. Not a lot of players put the why with it. They just enter the portal. Now, DJ Lagway did something similar, you told me, but have you found many other players who put the why with it?
No, I haven't seen that more often than not.
I think that's interesting. Let me ask you a fair question. Do you think that's a bit of a shot at Nebraska? Like, I didn't think I could do it at Nebraska. That's why I'm entering the portal.
I think it's, I wouldn't say a shot. I think it's also maybe trying to explain,
Explain, not a shot? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it depends on what way you view it, but at least trying to say, obviously things just weren't set up that way at Nebraska. Now you're bringing in a new offensive line coach trying to do it on the fly here. And that's to a degree. And I mean, part of this is, unfortunately, falls back on just the way things have been. You can look at Dylan Raiola and obviously in his personal faults and transferring everywhere. But since he's been here, you switched offensive coordinators mid-season. The next season, you fire the offensive line coach. So was it ever built for Dylan to succeed? Was it kind of building it on the fly? Right.
They were trying to. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That's just what I mean. It wasn't working all that well. It's another year of, hey, we've done this, we moved this around, and here we go. Which, to me, I mean, you're still working with Dana Holgorsen. There's still a sales pitch there. And again, maybe this all ends with Dylan Raiola coming back to Nebraska, but I somewhat understand it from his position as well.
You do. I did not expect that to come out of your mouth. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. You're a smart guy. You do.
Well, I say that about everybody, by the way. I think every athlete right now with the game-changing type of money that's out there, you being loyal to a college, that's probably an out-of-date way of going about things, in my opinion, because you can make life-changing money in college.
So I have stated that I think Dylan's a good dude. There are things about him that I like. I have openly stated that. Okay, I'm going to take all opinion out of it. I'm just going to state facts. 4 high schools in 4 years, 3 teams in 4 years. Committed, decommitted twice. We hired his uncle to be the offensive line coach. We offered his brother over a top commit down the street to come in and play here. There's an article. I mean, I pointed this out on another show. In the article, Matt Rhule, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the quote in front of me, said, let me know the players you like and I like, and let's go get them. You don't think we were building it around Dylan Raiola? Those are facts.
Oh, I mean, that's
now maybe the article's
obvious,
wrong, but those are facts.
No, they're definitely building around Ryola. That's why I think this is a big news day here.
0% of what I just said after I said I think he's a good dude. Everything after that was just simply a fact. Like, this table is red. I haven't gone colorblind, am I? It's still red? It's still red. Okay, still red. Like, those are facts. So I think we absolutely tried to build around Dylan Raiola. I wonder if there was a little bit too much of that. At a certain point, it's like, we're going to build, we're going to do what we think is best, and you're a part of that or you're not. Now, we want you here. We're going to recruit you here. We're going to offer you $3+ million. Hey, you could be a benefit to us, but at some point, you got to fit in the puzzle as a puzzle piece. You can't be the puzzle piece that the puzzle's built around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have no problem building a team around a quarterback's skill sets to a certain degree. As long as you know the quarterback's going to be here, which in today's day and age of college football, you just don't. That's hard. Dude, that's hard. I'm almost like tempted, like Notre Dame finally has a freshman quarterback. For like 3 years in a row, they did the rent-a-quarterback deal. They'd go get a senior quarterback from this school, that school, that school. And it worked for them. Now they got a freshman this year who's actually playing really well. It's almost like, man, just go get a rent-a-quarterback. You might be gone next year anyways. Might as well get a veteran that comes in and has proven playing experience. I'm not saying that's what we have to do. I'm just saying I could see that line of thinking because I've kind of poked fun at Notre Dame for it. Again, they've got a freshman this year. But I'm just kind of like, I get it now. I get building around a quarterback skill set. As long as you know he's going to be here, which I don't know how you guarantee that. Blood oath or something? I don't know. Bad joke. My point is, a skill set is different than building around an individual. Got to build around a skill set. Can't build around an individual, especially not in today's day and age of college football. I'm not blasting Dylan Raiola. What I'm going to say is they absolutely tried to build around him. And it still didn't work. Obviously, he's going to enter the portal. Now, maybe he changes his mind. He doesn't go. Maybe there's conversations that are had to change his mind. Maybe he goes and comes back. Deshaun Singleton was going to go pro. He was training for the NFL, came back. Arguably our best defensive player this year. So you never know what might happen. I had no less than 3 different people within the past 24 hours tell me he's probably going to stay. People that I trust, by the way. By the way, Dayton Ryola was supposed to be here for bowl practices. And I believe Sean Callahan said that's actually something Dom told him a week or 2 before Dayton ended up decommitting. This stuff changes so quickly, so fast. I do not envy the breaking news reporters trying to stay on top of this. I much prefer to be the reaction guy. It's already happened. I know what's happened. At least the announcement's happened. He hasn't actually entered the portal yet because he can't. And I can react. It's a lot easier. What's on the text line, Jake? I know it's blowing up. Your eyes are like, I can see them over there trying to read them all.
That's very hard to, I mean, shout out to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everybody getting on in the comments. We got so many of them. We've got so many comments too on the text line. So I could kind of try to get through here and see what necessarily comes out first. Yeah.
Okay. How about this? Because we're going to go to break here in a couple minutes, stack some, and we'll get to them in our final segment, make it all fan comment reaction segment.
Okay.
So today's show was supposed to be, breaking news during the show, Matt Rhule's next big move. Matt Rhule's next big move is probably, announcing a D-line coach. That was obvious. I said beyond that, and then we get the news about Dylan. So now the next big move is, who are we looking at in the portal? Although Matt Rhule may have known this for a while. Let's be honest. He may have known this. Do you think he knew this before he let go of Donovan?
I think the tea leaves kind of lead to this, or at least was willing. That's the other part of this is how much was Matt Rhule willing to kind of make these moves and let Dylan walk. I mean, I don't know if he was necessarily doing it because he knew Dylan was going to leave, but maybe he made these moves saying, if Dylan leaves, so be it. Yeah. We have to make these moves.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he knew, maybe he didn't, because remember that CBS article? I believe it came out before he let go of Donovan. The CBS article that Dylan Raiola might enter the portal, so the article is basically nothing. There was nothing to the article except Nebraska's getting ready that he might enter the portal.
Yeah.
There was the one thing that I took from that was, again, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me. Matt Rhule, in the article, said that he said to Dylan, let me know the guys I want, let's go get them. Now, again, I'm paraphrasing. That stuck out to me. They tried to build around Dylan. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I wonder if we hired the best offensive line coach available. I wonder if we went after the best quarterbacks available. I wonder. I've openly said I love the way Dayton Ryola plays. Is he as highly rated, maybe as top ceiling talented as Jet Tamala? Probably not. I like the way Jet plays. But Dayton's kind of that overlooked kid. Doesn't get there's publicity, but doesn't get a bunch of offers. If you watch how he plays, it's just gritty. He's just tough. He likes physicality. He likes to hit people. He talks about it in interviews. So I'm not taking shots at anybody. Because people know I have no problem giving my honest opinion. I see no reason to take shots here. I think Matt Rhule said, we've tried to do it this way. Those last couple games were ugly. We are not blocking well up front. This is affecting too many parts of the program, and it's my butt that's on the line. It is this program that's being affected. I have to do what's best for this program. I'm sure Matt Rhule would like to keep his job. He got extended, but I think he's like, you know what? We got to change some things because this is not going how I had hoped it would go to the level that I hoped it would go, and we need to change the trajectory. I think that's beyond fair to say. And a lot of the facts I pointed out earlier, again, those are straight facts. All right, let's go to break. We'll get to your texts, comments, questions, thoughts, concerns, or otherwise when we come back.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 50. Tonight, clear skies, calm winds, low around 27. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies, and light winds, and mild temperatures. An afternoon high near 55. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Greetings, Ebenezer Scrooge here. I've always had the reputation of being a bit down on the holidays, but that's all changed since I discovered Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, and easy.
Scrooge!
Oh, there you are. Pardon me. The ghost of Christmas future and I are going to a holiday gathering. I know he sounds a bit gloomy, but once he starts scratching tickets, he's the life of the party.
Top prize odds vary by game.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, Apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
John's Plumbing in Lincoln reminds us no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, and courageous than our United States Armed Forces. Many of them will not be home for the holidays. Send them a military care package. Let them know that they are now and always in our thoughts and prayers. Visit sendacarepacagetoday.com for more information. This from John's Plumbing in Lincoln, family owned for over 22 years. Call 402-475-2599. Merry Christmas.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. If you didn't know, now you know. Dylan Ryola plans to enter the transfer portal. I thought it was Pete Thamel. Who reported this officially?
Yeah, Pete Thamel, college football senior writer for ESPN.
Oh, ESPN. I said on 3. My apologies. Pete Thamel of ESPN. All right. Let's pay the bills real quick. Let's get to your fan comments. Shout out to Mulberry BBQ. It's the noon hour here on the Adam Carriker Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this segment is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry BBQ. Now with 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and a 61st and Apples Way right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and get much, much more. Plus incredible size. Get fuel for lunch today at Mulberry BBQ. Also our good friends at Suizo Construction. Suizo Construction is proud to partner with TMCO, a long-standing Lincoln, Nebraska manufacturing company, for the upcoming holiday diaper drive taking place December 19th. TMCO has been a staple in the community for decades, known for its commitment to innovation, quality, fabrication, and support of local families. Together, we're excited to support an initiative that directly benefits those in need across our community. The holiday diaper drive will collect diapers, pull-ups, and wipes of any size to support 3 family-centered nonprofit organizations: TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. You can bring those aforementioned items to Suizo Construction. The Ticket, located at 1040 O Street here in Lincoln, Suite 100. Suizo is located at 3700 South Street, Suite A, Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's get to the comments. I feel like your computer is going to explode with all the reactions we've gotten here.
I think it is. There's a lot here. I like this one on YouTube. At least we won't have to hear the Minnie Mahomes BS anymore. So he's excited about that.
I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with that. And I said, we won't spend a lot of time on this. I said, because he was like, oh, my hair is the way it is. Okay, you're going to have to cut it like Mahomes, but I get that. I've worn 15 ever since I was a kid. And there's like a picture of him 4 wearing number 15. I couldn't get over the pregame warm-up being the same exact thing down to a T as Mahomes, though. Don't ask me. Don't treat me like I'm an idiot. Don't treat me like I can't see what I see and it's the exact same thing. Like, don't do that. Like, that was the only thing that ever got to me about it. All right, we can move on.
Joe from West Point says, Dylan leaving will probably break my 8-year-old's heart. It was a lot easier when I was growing up, not thinking half the team could be different next year. But wish him all the best. My question, does him leaving make any others hit the portal? He helped bring a lot of players here.
That is an interesting point, which is why if I'm Matt Rhule, I need to get a quarterback. I need to have a quarterback battle with Latif and whoever the new portal guy is, Marcus Davia. How's he factor into that conversation as well? Portal doesn't open until January, so you technically, you can't, and you can only announce so much. But as soon as you have your quarterback or a guy to battle with TJ Latif, the quarterback battle competition, I believe we need to have this offseason. Then all of a sudden, wide receivers, whoever else you may need to bring in or retain. We want to keep guys like Ja'Cory Barney and Isaiah Hunter and those guys in-house as well. We also need a running back at some point, someone to step up. You hear that Isaiah Mosey looks pretty good in practice. Got to see it in a game. So there's a few things that Matt Rhule needs to do next as far as the quarterback position. It is interesting with Dylan, but if I'm one of his teammates, I always wondered if they ever got, you hear about Raiola fatigue. He was always the first guy out of the tunnel before the games. He was kind of front and center everywhere. I always wondered if that ever bothered him. It never seemed to anyone I spoke to. But I always wondered if, maybe it was in the back of their mind, but they weren't going to talk about it or it wasn't that big of a deal, but maybe it was there a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to say this correctly. I'm not trying to say it softly or nicely, just correctly. Team-oriented approach can be more the center of everything. How's that sound?
Yeah.
There we go. What do you got next?
A few more thoughts here on YouTube. I think this one is interesting. I low-key felt he was leaving because how quiet he's been. Hasn't been to any games, no appearances anywhere. Of course, that was a big part of him. And we've been seeing Emmett Johnson kind of at all the games. So I do think that is a good point. Boda Anchor says off the text line, Dylan will have to take a pay cut which is interesting because he was like top 20, 18th ranked, I believe, among all college athletes in NIL. That doesn't quite equal up to his on-the-field play, so I think that's an interesting point. Go ahead.
I will say this. I pointed out, I don't even know if I said it on the show, but just to a couple of people, he wasn't at Penn State. This is a guy that's at everything. He was at the Crown Tournament Championship sitting in the AD's chair.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't there. And some people were like, well, he just had surgery. Yeah, like 10 days ago. I had major surgery, and I was on the frickin' plane, gnawing my shoulder off because it hurt like heck, and then my knee within 48 hours multiple times. Like, I always thought that was interesting, and then he wasn't at public events, and I was like, okay, maybe he wants to be not as front and center this year. Let's grind, let's get better, let's not be front and center as much, and let's just focus on the play on the field. Maybe there was more to it than just beyond that, it seems. And as you mentioned, Emmett's been a lot of those, but, I mean, we know Emmett's going either way. The pay cut thing, do you really think he's going to go somewhere else and get paid equivalent to? I don't think he's going to get paid more. Can he get paid equivalent to what he's being paid here? Somebody will find the money to match it, I think.
The numbers are going up. I mean, the Brendan Sorsby thing, I looked that up like you said. It wasn't that Brendan Sorsby's demanding $4 million. It's that he's been offered by multiple teams $4 million.
I'm also hearing he kind of wants to go back to Indiana.
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting.
Why? Stop.
I'd love it. I mean, that's cool.
Stop building a monster in Indiana. I don't like it, Kurt.
Outside of Nebraska, maybe getting him, which is weird. I don't know. I'm still dealing with it and looking around at other quarterbacks to see who should start for Nebraska next year.
I will tell you this. I mean, even if it's not Sorsby, a guy with Sorsby's skills, the ability to make plays, not necessarily just a pure running quarterback, but a guy who can make plays with his legs. He ran for almost 100 yards against us, and I don't know that hardly any of those were designed quarterback runs. He was just making plays with what was available. I wish Dylan the best. I've been saying it for a month. We got to do what's best for this football program, this university, and this state. And that's all encompassing. And I'm not saying it was singularly about one person or anything like that, but I definitely felt like we were absolutely building around an individual. I feel like there's enough evidence to say that that's fair to wonder. And if somebody wants to say that that's my opinion, I wouldn't argue with them. Going forward, it's got to be about a team, a program, a university, and everybody involved so that you can't even ask the question. It can't even be posed. Building around a quarterback skill set, whoever our quarterback is, I'm cool with that. There's a difference. All right, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Got plenty of them. Tune into Buck in the Black Shirt next, and we'll get to it.
He's stacking them. All right, go Big Red. And always remember, throw them bones.
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your holiday meal. Pre-order a 4-pound boneless ham for $50, a 12-pound whole smoked turkey, or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes,